今、アメリカでガソリン価格が急騰しています。その引き金の一つが、イランをめぐる戦争です。中東の緊張が高まると、世界の石油供給が不安定になり、価格が一気に跳ね上がる。そしてアメリカも例外ではありません。特に都市部では価格高騰が止まらない状態です。産油国なのに、と思うかもしれませんが、石油は世界で価格が決まるため、海外の戦争がそのまま国内に直撃します。これは一時的な値上げではなく、アメリカの生活を揺るがすレベルの変化です。
You know, you got to be a real gangster to live here in California. You really do. You have to have a little cheese somewhere stacked away somewhere or you won't be driving. I just filled up my car. Yes, I did let it get to empty because I wanted to see how much it was going to take to fill it up. It took $175. If you guys can see that, $175 to fill up my tank on empty. This damn car will not be getting lower than half full from here on out. $174 to fill up my car. I've never, ever paid that much. And yeah, so of course I have to put premium in my car, and I'm looking at the price, and if I pay cash it's $629, and if I pay it on my card it's $635. That's for premium. It's not even regular gas. Regular is $605. This is crazy. You have to be a real gangster living right here in Cali, or you better have some funds available just to get around. This is ridiculous. $175 to fill up my tank.
Trump, I want to thank you for the high prices of gas. It's $4.19 in South Florida today. I'm in Delray right now, and it's $4.19 at this station. Gas has increased $1 a gallon or more, all because of this unnecessary war that you've gotten us into in Iran. And you don't even know why we're fighting. Once it's nuclear weapons, then it's regime change, then it's this, then it's that. I thought you destroyed all the nuclear weapons a year back in June. What happened to that? What happened to that story? You know, you tell us one story after another story after another story, and you don't even remember which story you've told us. You've told us so many times. I mean, really? We didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for you ever. And MAGA didn't vote for war either. And war is not helping anybody. But you did make the one comment today that the United States is the largest oil producer in the country, in the world, and that we're making money. Yeah, you and your oil buddies are making money. The billionaires are making money off the backs of the American people, just like your tariffs. You made money on that too. Love you for my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and the burned out brothers. You happy with this war and these gas prices? And this is just the beginning. It's not the end. Whatever Donald Trump tells you, it's not the end. Just watch.
Okay, let me give you guys a gas update. This is in SeaTac. Ain't no way. $6.19 at the Shell, then $6.19 at the 76 too. That's a 50-cent increase. Damn, bro. $8 is gonna come sooner than later, man. No, and check this out. The highest price isn't up there. Look at this. I've never seen it $7. I've never seen it in my whole life $7 in the state of Washington. What the fuck? Chat, are we cooked?
It is a very real possibility that we see $10 gas prices here in the state of California. We saw just a few months ago that I warned you about $8 gas because of the refineries that were shutting down, both Phillips 66 and Benicia. 20% of California's gasoline gone in less than 6 months. And now, with this global turmoil that is happening right now, some of the Asian markets that we import from are declaring that they are no longer exporting. Well, this is what happens when you have an irresponsible government that depends on 70% of its oil supplies and fuel supplies comes from foreign markets. That is irresponsible, especially when states like California can produce it cleaner, better, and cheaper right here. But because of the rules, regulations, and the laws that this state has passed, we are about to see $10 gas. It is why we need to pause the gas tax right now. And I don't want to hear the excuse that how are we going to get money to take care of our roads and take care of our infrastructure. The state of California is in a record revenue year. We have more money available to us than we ever have. It is time to end the wasteful spending on areas that don't work, provide relief to the people that need it, the people who drive on our roads, and reallocate that record revenue in this state, record tax revenue to other areas so that way we can build the infrastructure we need. People need relief right now, but the governor's out traveling, gallivanting across the entire nation about a book tour when Californians need relief. Suspend the gas tax now. Call your legislator. Tell them to do so before gas hits $10.
So many people are confused by this. Why are gas prices in the US spiking when the US is the world's largest oil producer? It's a good question, especially when you consider that over the past 6 years, the US has been a net exporter of petroleum. We sell more of it to other countries than they sell to us. The first thing to understand is that petroleum is a broad term. It includes crude oil, the raw stuff that comes out of the ground, refined products like gasoline and diesel that are made from oil, and hydrocarbon gas liquids like propane and ethane that are mostly a byproduct of natural gas production. The US is a huge exporter of things like propane and ethane, but it's a net importer of crude oil, which is the most important ingredient for setting prices at the pump. But let's say hypothetically the US was completely self-sufficient in crude oil and didn't need to import any of it. Even then, gasoline prices would still spike when we get a massive supply disruption like we're seeing in the Strait of Hormuz, because oil is priced in the global market. An American oil company in Texas isn't going to sell you a barrel of oil for $70 when they can sell it overseas for $110. They sell it to whoever pays the most. Even if we banned the export of crude oil to keep it all here, it wouldn't solve the problem. You see, many of America's refineries were built decades ago to process heavy, sour crude oil, the kind that comes from Canada and Mexico. Most of what we produce domestically is light, sweet crude oil, a different type of oil, and many of our refineries aren't set up to process it efficiently. That mismatch means we export a lot of our light, sweet crude oil to other countries that can use it and import a lot of heavy crude oil for our own refineries. It's also worth noting that the US actually had a ban on crude oil exports for 40 years between 1975 and 2015. It was put in place after the 1973 Arab oil embargo as a way to keep American oil in America. But it was lifted because the shale oil boom was producing so much light sweet crude oil that we were having trouble making use of it all. Lifting the ban helped that surplus reach global markets, which helped prices stabilize here and encourage more domestic production of oil. The bottom line is this: the US is a net exporter of petroleum, but that's mostly because of products like propane and ethane that have nothing to do with the price at the pump. On top of that, oil is a global commodity, so even though the US is a massive producer of crude oil, what happens overseas still impacts us here at home. And finally, our refineries need specific types of crude oil that we don't produce enough of, so we're going to depend on imports no matter how much we drill.
So gas has gotten so high, the United States Postal Service will be charging you for your packages. Now, investing.com said the U.S. Postal Service will impose an 8% surcharge on packages covering rising fuel costs, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. This is the first time the United States Postal Service has had to do this. I mean, countries are shutting down days where people don't work. Some of them are in national crisis. And baby, the Strait of Hormuz is letting some boats in, maybe like 5 or 6, but they not letting everybody in. They standing on business. And another thing, I want to know what gift Iran gave him. I'm really curious. I know he lying, but I want him to put a name to the gift, because the only gift they want to give you is a missile. And I'm telling you right now, it better go to Mar-a-Lago or 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It better not go nowhere else, okay? Iran, chill the fuck out. We seen the videos. We know what you're talking about. Black folks don't want no smoke.
アメリカは1ガロン 3.785 リットルの表示だから、リッターで見ればそこまで高くないのでは、そう思った人もいるかもしれません。でもそれは大きな勘違いです。アメリカはもともとガソリンがかなり安い国で、水より安いと言われていた時期もあります。だからこそ今回の値上がりは衝撃が大きい。さらにアメリカは完全な車社会、通勤も買い物も長距離移動が当たり前で、使うガソリンの量が日本とは桁違いです。つまり生活に絶対必要なガソリンの高騰は生活へのダメージが想像以上。この状況に怒っているアメリカ人も多く、場所によっては抗議デモも起こっているぐらいです。日本にもすでに影響が出ているガソリンの高騰問題。あなたはこの問題どう思いますか？コメント欄で感想やご意見を聞かせてください。最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。